I just realized I can record 2 videos in a row, and I'm gonna do that. Like, why not? Let's see if it feels good, or if I like the variety of having multiple environments. Yeah, so why is Teapot World historical? First of all, I hate the name Teapot. I think it's too self-referential, and it's not specific enough and can refer to anything. And people say that's a feature, not a bug, but it's not. It's not. The people I care about, or the intellectual lineage that I consider myself kind of a part of, is best described as post-rat, in my opinion. I haven't found anything better. And post-rat refers to post-rationalists, and rationalists is a word used to describe the kind of people who frequented lesswrong.com. They care a lot about using their left hemisphere to solve problems and win at life, in their words. And they care a lot about like Bayesian reasoning and, you know, explicit models of things, logic, like those sorts of like mathy logic, like analytic philosophy aesthetics. And then there's like EAs, effective altruists, which are sort of an offshoot of rationalism and other things. And they both have the same or similar failure modes, where they sort of overemphasize the intellect and discount the body, and then stuff like burnout happens. And this is in very rough terms, okay? But then something like post-rat happens, where people realize, oh, you know, your body is there too, and it matters. You know, you're not a meat robot, and your intuitions, your body sends you signals that are very important for making sense of the world. So, you know, ultimately, taking your body into account is the fully rational thing to do, right? So if you're an actual rationalist, you'll accept this. But then, I guess you could say post-rats have more of a penchant to be interested in like fringe ideas, or like provide explanations or explore systematically ideas from like woo topics, like meditation, which is not that woo now, or energy work, or like parts work, like different modalities of therapy, different kinds of body work, like working with your fascia, or sacrocranial therapy. I don't even know what that is. Yeah. So there's kind of a left brain, right brain integration thing going on, right? So that's roughly post-rat, and then the Twitter scene comes from a bunch of people before COVID, and it kind of blew up during COVID, who were all reading the same post-rat blogs, more or less. So Ribbon Farm, Sarah Perry, Slate Star Codex, Meaningness. So lots of these blogs that people just found themselves discussing on Twitter. And I was there from kind of early, so it just felt like a few people discussing ideas, and gradually, because of the way the Twitter algorithm works with sim clusters, people just kept accumulating, right? Like people just kept being drawn into this attractor of, you know, chill, friendly, well-intentioned, epistemically rigorous people online just discussing ideas. And it was great. The norms were amazing. It didn't feel like Twitter. It felt like a fuzzily gated community inside Twitter. Like it felt like an oasis, an intellectual oasis in the like early 2020s and late 2010s. So it got big, and you know, it gradually got big. People started having calls with each other during COVID because they were locked down, and they started meeting up offline in events like camps, and it's like pretty clear that ideas that were discussed in post-strat spheres were just ahead of the curve, reliably. Different kinds of meditation, jhanas, like different kinds of community building. Crypto would have been a thing if the timeline matched up, but it's not. But these are the kinds of people who were also early to crypto. IFS. Lots of things. I didn't prepare. I didn't prepare a list of examples. But anyway, so there's this really fruitful like convergence of left and right brain, and you get lots of AI people, meditation-y people, artists, philosophers, builders, startup people, crypto people sometimes. And it's just the best intellectual scene that I know of, or has been. And so, it ends up ridiculous, and with tpot or post-strat being like, so tpot takes off as a name from the like 2020 range, or 2020, 2021, and it just totally overtakes post-strat as a name. So tpot just gets total cultural domination, at least from my perspective, and like now you have tpot upstream of powerful billionaires and politicians and whatnot. Okay, so that's my argument for why tpot is world historical, and it's kind of still just the beginning. I think lots of people from this scene are either already becoming or will become really powerful and celebrated and accomplished individuals, and I think Visa has a tweet about like all the interlocking storylines that will be coming out of this scene, or that looking back will know as coming out of this scene. Anyway, this is worth paying attention to. This is worth studying, actually. I think there's a really good chance that this like cluster of ideas is kind of the birthplace nest for the ideology of the ruling class in the next like 15 years, right? Maybe less, especially with all the AI researchers becoming billionaires or 100 millionaires. This is to say, our cultural operating system is about to be heavily influenced by the posts of my friends, and if we're able to save them and understand them and trace their evolution, we might just understand ourselves better and see the truth more clearly and make better decisions that help us be richer and better and more beautiful. And I'll see you next time. This is why tpot is world historical, and why it's worth studying, and why I'm I think there's juice in it, and I think it should drive my building of tools for memetics study, for mapping how ideas spread. That's it. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.